From gratitude to galactic hero, how she became the savior of the universe. She was just a woman, thankful for the soldiers who saved her life. But when the universe calls for a savior, gratitude alone won't be enough. Thrust into an intergalactic war she never asked for, she'll have to transform from an ordinary citizen to the galaxy's last hope. This is her journey from simple thank you to saving an entire universe. Will she rise to the challenge or will the galaxy fall? Stay tuned to find out. The distress signal captain Maya Rodriguez floated in the observation deck of the mining vessel Horizon's Edge, watching asteroids drift past like ancient sentinels. The Tau Ceti asteroid belt had been her home for 3 years now, extracting rare minerals for the Galactic Commerce Guild. It was honest work, even if it meant humanity remained at the bottom of the galactic hierarchy. Her crew of 37 humans and 12 allied species worked the belt with quiet efficiency. Humanity had only been part of the galactic community for 2 centuries, barely a heartbeat in cosmic terms. While other species commanded vast fleets and controlled entire sectors, humans scraped by as miners, traders, and mechanics. They were valued for their adaptability and ingenuity, but never respected as equals. Maya's contemplation was interrupted by an urgent voice over the intercom. "Captain, you need to see this. We've detected something unusual in Sector 7. She pushed off from the viewing port and glided through the ship's corridors in the low gravity. The bridge was a cramped affair, designed for function over comfort. Her communications officer, Lieutenant Chen Wei, was hunched over his console with an expression of disbelief. "What have you got, Chen?" "A signal, Captain. But not just any signal." His fingers danced across the holographic display, bringing up a waveform pattern. "It's using quantum encryption that predates the Galactic Commerce Guild by at least 3,000 years. Maya's breath caught. 3,000 years ago, humanity hadn't even achieved faster-than-light travel. According to the official records, humans had developed FTL technology only after first contact with the Altarians. But Chen's reading suggested otherwise. "Can you decode it?" "That's the strange part, Captain. The encryption key, it's responding to human DNA markers. I've never seen anything like it." Chief Engineer Tomas Restrepo floated over, his weathered face creased with concern. "Could be a trap. The Krellian Empire has been expanding their territory. They might be using some new tech to lure human vessels." Maya considered this. The Krellians were one of the dominant species in this sector, controlling vast mining operations with an iron grip. They tolerated human miners only because humanity posed no real threat to their supremacy. But something about this signal felt different. It felt familiar. "Chen, can you triangulate the source?" "Already did, Captain. It's coming from an uncharted planetoid about 6 hours from here at maximum burn. But here's the really weird part." He pulled up a star chart. "According to these quantum signatures, the signal has been broadcasting for over 3,000 years. And Captain, it's addressed to something called the Children of Earth." The bridge fell silent. Earth was a myth, a legend among humans. The supposed birth world of humanity had been lost to history, its location erased from all records during what historians called the Great Forgetting. Most humans believed it was just a story, a shared cultural delusion. "Navigation." "Plot a course," Maya ordered. "Captain," Tomas protested. "We're due to deliver our mineral haul to Krellian Station 9 in 48 hours. If we're late, then we're late." Maya's voice carried the authority of command. This could be the discovery of a lifetime. "Prepare for departure." As the crew prepared for the journey, Maya noticed unusual activity on her long-range sensors. 3 Krellian patrol ships had altered their course, moving to intercept. Her communications console chimed with an incoming transmission. The holographic image of Commander Zektar materialized on the bridge. The Krellian stood nearly 3 meters tall, his chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under his ship's harsh lighting. 4 arms crossed over his thorax in what Maya recognized as a gesture of authority. "Captain Rodriguez." His synthesized voice carried clear displeasure. "Our sensors indicate you've detected an anomalous signal. According to Galactic Commerce Guild regulations, any discoveries in this sector fall under Krellian salvage rights." Maya kept her expression neutral. "With respect, Commander, we haven't made any discovery yet. We're simply investigating an unusual reading. Do not play games with me, human." Zektar's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Your species may be useful for manual labor, but do not presume to challenge Krellian authority." Return to your assigned mining grid immediately. The transmission ended abruptly. Maya turned to her crew, seeing determination mixed with fear in their faces. Challenging the Krellians could mean more than just losing their mining licenses. It could mean the end of their lives. Options? She asked. Chen spoke first. We could transmit a copy of the signal to the Human Colonial Council. Get official backing. By the time they respond, the Krellians will have claimed whatever's out there, Tomas countered. Besides, you know the Council won't risk confrontation over an unverified signal. Maya made her decision. We're going. But we're going smart. Chen, prepare a data burst with everything we know. If something happens to us, at least the information survives. Tomas, can you give me everything our engines have? The engineer grinned. I can squeeze maybe 20% more speed, but it'll burn through our fuel reserves. Do it. The Horizon's Edge surged forward, its modified engines pushing beyond their designed limits. Maya knew they had perhaps a 2-hour head start on the Krellian patrol ships. It would have to be enough. As they approached the uncharted planetoid, Maya felt a strange sensation, like a half-remembered dream. The barren rock ahead looked unremarkable, just another dead world in an infinite cosmos. But something about it called to her. Captain, Chen's voice was barely a whisper. The signal's changing. It's responding to our approach. The main view screen flickered to life, displaying a message in multiple languages. At the bottom, in perfect modern English, it read, "Welcome home, children of Earth. The seeds we planted have finally grown. Enter the coordinates of your birth stars and claim your inheritance." Maya's hands trembled as she input the coordinates of humanity's current colonies. The planetoid's surface began to shift, ancient machinery coming to life after millennia of dormancy. A massive structure emerged from beneath the rock and dust, its architecture unlike anything in the known galaxy. By the void, Tomas breathed. It's a generation ship, an Earth generation ship. Before Maya could respond, proximity alarm screamed. The Krellian patrol ships had arrived, and they were charging weapons. Captain Rodriguez, Commander Zektar's voice boomed across all channels. You will surrender immediately and transfer all data regarding this discovery to Krellian Command. Humanity has no claim to such technology. Maya looked at her crew, these brave souls who had followed her into the unknown. She thought about humanity's place in the galaxy, always serving, never leading. She thought about the message. Welcome home. Commander Zektar, she replied, her voice steady. This is a human discovery, and it will remain so. I suggest you withdraw before you start something the entire galaxy will regret. The Krellian's laughter was harsh. You dare threaten the Krellian Empire? Your species doesn't even have warships, Maya smiled. No, we don't. But we're very good at improvising. She turned to Tomas. Remember that trick you showed me with the mining lasers? The engineer's eyes widened with understanding. Captain, that's insane. That's human. As the Krellian ships moved to attack, Maya Rodriguez prepared to show the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their technology or their numbers. It was in their willingness to take impossible risks for the chance at something better. The forgotten children of Earth were about to remind the galaxy why their ancestors had once reached for the stars. The forgotten colony, the mining lasers of the Horizon's Edge, weren't designed for combat. They were precision tools meant to carve through asteroids with surgical accuracy, but Tomas Restrepo had spent 3 decades modifying equipment, and Maya had learned to trust his unconventional solutions. Reversing the focal length now, Tomas announced, his fingers flying across the engineering console. This is going to drain our power core in about 60 seconds. Captain, then we'd better make them count. The first Krellian patrol ship fired a warning shot across their bow, the energy beam sizzling past close enough to trigger proximity alarms. Maya didn't flinch. Chen, broadcast this on all frequencies, she ordered. This is Captain Maya Rodriguez of Earth Descent Humanity. The structure below is of human origin, predating Galactic Commerce Guild territorial claims by millennia. Any interference with our lawful salvage will be considered an act of war. Commander Zektar's response was swift and predictable. Your species has no standing to declare war. You are laborers, nothing more. Maya nodded to Tomas. The modified mining lasers erupted in a brilliant display, not targeting the Krellian ships directly, but creating a lattice of superheated plasma between them. The patrol ship's shields flared as they encountered the unexpected barrier. Their advance momentarily halted. It's working, Chen shouted. But Captain, I'm detecting massive power signatures from the structure below. It's scanning us. The ancient generation ship had fully emerged now, its hull stretching nearly 5 kilometers in length. Symbols in forgotten Earth languages covered its surface, and Maya could make out what looked like habitat domes, now dark and lifeless. Or so she thought. A new voice suddenly filled the bridge, speaking in accented but clear English. Unidentified vessel, this is Colonial Administrator Sarah Chen of the Earthship Endurance. Please confirm your genetic markers for verification. Maya's crew exchanged shocked glances. Chen Wei looked particularly stunned, hearing what might have been an ancestor's name. This is Captain Maya Rodriguez. We're human from the outer colonies. We heard your distress signal. There was a pause, then the voice continued with obvious emotion. Captain Rodriguez, you're the first to respond in 3,000 years. Please dock immediately. The Void Hunters have found us and we don't have much time. Void Hunters? Maya had never heard the term, but something about it sent chills down her spine. Before Sarah Chen could respond, the Krellian ships opened fire. Their weapons struck the plasma barrier Tomas had created, dissipating most of the energy, but some shots got through. The horizon's edge shuddered under the impact. Shields at 40%, someone shouted. Then something extraordinary happened. The ancient generation ship's weapon systems came online. Beams of impossible energy lanced out, not destroying the Krellian ships but disabling them with surgical precision. Within seconds, all 3 patrol vessels were drifting powerlessly. Dock now, Sarah Chen urged. We'll explain everything, but you must hurry. Maya didn't need to be told twice. She guided the horizon's edge toward a docking port that looked impossibly pristine despite its age. As they connected, she could feel the vibration of ancient machinery cycling to accommodate their ship. The airlock opened to reveal something Maya never expected. Living, breathing humans. They wore uniforms unlike anything in the modern colonies, and their faces bore the weight of generations of isolation. At their head stood a woman who looked remarkably like Chen Wei, though her features were harder, marked by years of leadership. Captain Rodriguez, Sarah Chen said. Extending her hand in an ancient Earth greeting, Maya recognized from historical files. Welcome to Outpost Omega, the last seat of Earth. Maya shook her hand, noting the firm grip. Administrator Chen, we thought Earth was a myth. How is this possible? Sarah led them through corridors that seemed frozen in time. The technology was different from modern galactic standard, more organic in design yet somehow more advanced. They passed viewports showing vast hydroponic gardens and what appeared to be entire ecosystems contained within the ship. Earth wasn't destroyed, Sarah explained as they walked. It was hidden. When humanity first detected the Void Hunters approaching our solar system 3 millennia ago, our ancestors made a desperate choice. They scattered seed ships across the galaxy, each carrying a piece of human culture and genetic diversity. Then they hid Earth itself using quantum phase technology. But why didn't you contact the colonies? Tomas asked, his engineer's mind racing with questions about the technology around them. We couldn't risk it, Sarah replied, leading them into a vast command center where dozens of humans worked at stations Maya couldn't begin to understand. The Void Hunters track civilizations through their quantum signatures. Every time a species advances to a certain level, they consume entire civilizations, leaving nothing but empty worlds. She gestured to a holographic display showing the galaxy. Vast swathes of it were marked in red. These are the dead zones, civilizations the Void Hunters have already consumed. They're methodical, patient. They've been dormant for the last 1,000 years, but something has awakened them. Maya studied the map with growing horror. The red zones were expanding slowly but inevitably toward human space. The Krellians, the Altarians, all the major powers. They're directly in the path. They don't know, Sarah confirmed. The Galactic Commerce Guild arose during the Void Hunters' dormant period. These younger civilizations have no idea what's coming. Chen Wei had been quiet studying the ancient systems. Now he spoke up. The signal we detected, it wasn't really a distress call, was it? Sarah smiled sadly. You're perceptive. No, it was a test. We've been monitoring human development in the outer colonies. When you achieved certain technological and social benchmarks, we activated the beacon. Only humans with the right genetic markers and the courage to investigate would find us. You were testing if we were ready, Maya said, understanding dawning. Earth's children needed to prove they could stand on their own before we revealed ourselves, Sarah confirmed, and you've exceeded our expectations. Your mining ship just disabled 3 military vessels using improvised weapons. That's the human ingenuity we were hoping to see. An alarm suddenly echoed through the command center. One of Sarah's officers called out, "Administrator, we're detecting quantum fluctuations at the edge of the system." "It's them." Sarah's face went pale. "They've found us. Probably traced the energy signature from our weapons discharge." Maya watched as space itself seemed to ripple on the main display. Ships began emerging from quantum space, but these were unlike anything in her experience. They were organic-looking, constantly shifting and adapting like living nightmares given form. The Void Hunters had arrived. "How do we fight them?" Maya asked. Sarah turned to her with an expression of grim determination. "We don't, not directly. But Earth's children might have developed something we haven't considered. You've been living among alien species, learning their technologies, adapting them. Show us what humanity has become." As the Void Hunter fleet approached, Maya realized their survival would depend on combining ancient Earth knowledge with the improvisation skills humanity had developed as the galaxy's underdogs. The Krellian ships, still disabled and drifting, would likely be the Void Hunters' first victims unless Maya could figure out a solution that saved everyone. "Chen," she ordered, "open a channel to Commander Zektar." "Captain?" Chen looked confused. "If we're going to survive this, we need allies, and I think the commander is about to learn that humanity has been protecting the galaxy all along. He just didn't know it." As the channel opened and Zektar's angry image appeared, Maya prepared to do what humans did best: unite unlikely allies against impossible odds. The Forgotten Colony had preserved Earth's legacy, but it would take the adaptability of Earth's scattered children to face the threat that had once driven humanity to the stars. The Alliance forms commander. Zektar's holographic form flickered with indignation. "Captain Rodriguez, you dare contact me after this assault? The Krellian Empire will—" "Commander, shut up and listen," Maya interrupted, her tone sharp enough to actually silence the towering alien. "Look at your long-range sensors. Tell me what you see." There was a pause. When Zektar spoke again, his synthesized voice carried something Maya had never heard from a Krellian before. "Fear." "What are those things?" "Death," Sarah Chen said, stepping into view of the communication array. "They're called Void Hunters, and they've destroyed more civilizations than your empire has stars. Your weapons won't work against them. Your shields won't hold. In approximately 15 minutes, they'll consume your ships, your crews, and add your biological and technological distinctiveness to their own." Zektar's forearms gestured in what Maya recognized as extreme agitation. "This is impossible. The Krellian Empire is supreme in this sector. We have—" His words were cut short as one of the Void Hunter ships fired. The beam was unlike any weapon Maya had ever seen, seeming to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. It struck the lead Krellian patrol ship, and within seconds the vessel began to dissolve. Not explode, not break apart, but dissolve at a molecular level, its matter being absorbed into the Void Hunter fleet. The screams that came through the communication channel before it cut off would haunt Maya forever. "2 ships left," Tomas said grimly. "Their shields didn't even slow it down." Zektar's image was trembling now, his natural armor plates rattling in a fear response. "What do you want, human?" Maya made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. "Dock with the generation ship. Bring your crews. We protect everyone or we all die together. You would save us? After we tried to claim your discovery?" "That's what humans do," Maya replied. "We're stubborn about keeping people alive, even people who don't particularly like us." "You have 30 seconds to decide," Sarah Chen whispered urgently. "Captain, we can't defend against the Void Hunters with conventional means. We barely have weapons ourselves." "Then we get unconventional," Maya replied. She turned back to Zektar. "Commander, your ships have quantum phase drives, correct?" "Yes, but they're disabled along with our other systems." "Tomas," Maya called to her engineer, "if we could link the Krellian drives to the generation ship's power core, could we create a phase bubble large enough to cover all our ships?" Tomas was already running calculations on his tablet. "It's insane, but maybe. We'd need to synchronize the quantum frequencies perfectly, and someone would need to manually adjust them from inside the Krellian ships." "I'll do it," Chenwei volunteered. "I've studied Krellian tech for years." Maya nodded, then addressed Zektar again. "Commander, dock immediately. We have a plan, but we need your technology." For a long moment, the fate of multiple species hung in the balance. Then Zektar's mandibles clicked and what Maya had learned was resignation. Docking now. But human, if this is a trick, it's not a trick. It's hope. The next 10 minutes were controlled chaos. The 2 remaining Krellian ships docked with the ancient generation ship, while the Void Hunters steadily approached. Maya watched as human and Krellian crew members worked side by side, their mutual fear overcoming centuries of prejudice. Chenwei and a team of engineers from both species raced through the Krellian ships, connecting systems that were never meant to interface. Tomas supervised from the generation ship's engineering section, his voice carrying across the comms with steady encouragement. 5 minutes until they're in primary weapon range, Sarah announced. Maya opened a general channel to all personnel. This is Captain Rodriguez. I know you're scared. I know this isn't what any of us signed up for. But right now we have a choice. We can die as separate species or we can live as allies. Humans, show our new friends what we learned in the mining belts about making impossible things work. Krellians, trust us with your technology. Together, we're going to do something nobody expects. We're going to survive. A young Krellian engineer approached her, his translator struggling with his emotional state. Captain, I am Tekvar, youngest spawn of Commander Zektar. I have studied human history in my leisure time. Your species has a concept called desperate innovation. I believe I can help. Maya smiled. What do you have in mind? The Void Hunters consume matter and energy, yes? But what if we give them something they cannot digest? Your mining lasers can create plasma fields. Our shields can modulate quantum frequencies. If we combine them, we could create a quantum plasma that exists in a state of constant flux, Tomas finished, having overheard. It would be like trying to eat a probability wave. Brilliant. 3 minutes, Sarah warned. Maya coordinated the desperate defense. Human miners worked alongside Krellian warriors, their combined expertise creating solutions neither species could have achieved alone. The generation ship's ancient systems integrated with modern technology in ways that should have been impossible. Phase bubble ready, Chenwei announced. But it'll only hold for maybe 5 minutes once we activate it. Quantum plasma field standing by, Tekvar reported. Though I calculate only a 40% chance of success. 40% is better than 0, Maya replied. All ships prepare for synchronized activation on my mark. The lead Void Hunter ship was now close enough that Maya could see its surface writhing like living tissue. It fired another of those impossible beams, striking the phase bubble just as it activated. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the beam refracted, splitting into 1,000 smaller streams that dissipated harmlessly. It's working, someone shouted. But the Void Hunters adapted quickly. Their ships began to shift, their forms reconfiguring to match the quantum frequency of the bubble. Sarah Chen watched the displays with growing alarm. They're learning. The bubble will fail in 2 minutes, maybe less. Maya turned to the mixed crew around her. Then we hit them with everything. Activate the quantum plasma field. All mining lasers fire on my command. Target the same point on the lead ship. The combined fleet, 3 mining vessels, 2 Krellian patrol ships, and 1 ancient Earth generation ship, unleashed their improvised weapons simultaneously. The quantum plasma field erupted outward. A wave of impossible energy that existed in multiple states at once. The Void Hunter ships recoiled, their organic hulls unable to process the contradictory nature of the attack. For the first time they seemed confused, their adaptive capabilities overwhelmed. Again, Maya ordered. The second volley was even more effective. The lead Void Hunter ship began to destabilize, its form flickering between dimensions. Then something unexpected happened. The Void Hunters stopped attacking. Their ships held position, and a signal came through on all frequencies. It wasn't words exactly, but concepts that translated directly into each listener's mind. Interesting. You have evolved. You work together. This is you, Sarah Chen gasped. They're communicating. In 3,000 years, they've never communicated. We consume civilizations that stagnate. We test those who grow. You have passed the first test, Maya stepped forward. Who are you? What do you want? We are the gardeners of the galaxy. We remove the weeds so new growth can flourish. Humanity was marked for consumption, but you scattered, adapted, evolved. Now you unite others. This is unexpected, promising. Commander Zektar found his voice. You're saying this was all a test? Everything is a test. Most fail. You have not failed yet. We will withdraw and observe. Continue to grow. Unite more species. The true test comes when you are ready. The Void Hunter ships began to phase out of normal space. But before they disappeared completely, one final message came through. The children of Earth have become something new. Protect the small species. Teach them to work together. The galaxy's survival depends on it. Then they were gone, leaving behind only the Allied fleet and a universe of possibilities. Commander Zektar turned to Maya, his forearms spread in what she recognized as a gesture of respect. Captain Rodriguez, I believe I owe you an apology. And perhaps the galaxy owes humanity more than we realized. Maya looked around at the mixed crew, humans and Krellians working side by side, sharing stories of their desperate innovation. This was just the beginning. If humanity could unite with their former oppressors against a common threat, what else was possible? Administrator Chen, Maya said, I think it's time to reveal Earth's location. The galaxy needs to know that humanity has been protecting them all along. Sarah nodded. Agreed, but Captain, you realize this changes everything? Humanity won't be miners and laborers anymore. Maya smiled. No, we'll be something better. We'll be the species that brings others together. After all, we've had 3,000 years of practice surviving against impossible odds. Time to share what we've learned. The battle for tomorrow 6 months had passed since the Void Hunter encounter. The galaxy had changed in ways Maya could never have imagined. The revelation of Earth's location and humanity's true history had sent shockwaves through the Galactic Commerce Guild. More importantly, reports of similar Void Hunter encounters were flooding in from across known space. Maya stood in the newly constructed Unity Station, a massive collaborative effort between 12 species. Through the observation deck, she could see ships of every configuration, Krellian dreadnoughts, Altarian science vessels, and humble human mining ships all working together. Captain, we're receiving priority signals from 3 sectors, Chenwei reported. He'd been promoted to communications director for the new Allied Defense Initiative. The Void Hunters are testing border worlds just like they warned. Maya studied the tactical displays. The Void Hunters weren't conquering. They were probing, testing each species' ability to cooperate. Those who failed to unite were consumed. Those who succeeded were left with cryptic messages about the true test. Commander Zektar, now her unlikely friend and co-commander, clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. 7 civilizations lost in the past month. All of them tried to face the Void Hunters alone. Then we make sure no one faces them alone again, Maya replied. The doors to the command center slid open, and Sarah Chen entered with someone Maya had only seen in historical files, a figure in an environmental suit that obscured their features. Captain Rodriguez, Sarah said formally, may I present the Earth Council representative? The figure's voice was modulated but clearly emotional. Captain, your actions have given humanity a chance we thought was lost. Earth is ready to rejoin the galaxy. Maya felt the weight of the moment. What does Earth bring to the Alliance? The representative gestured and the main display changed to show technologies Maya couldn't begin to comprehend. 3,000 years of hidden development. Weapons that exist in quantum superposition. Shields that redirect attacks through dimensional rifts. And most importantly, the complete historical record of every civilization the Void Hunters have ever tested. Tekvar, who had become the station's chief science officer, practically vibrated with excitement. This data could tell us what the true test is. It does, the Earth representative confirmed. The Void Hunters aren't invaders. They're antibodies. The command center fell silent. Antibodies? Maya asked. Sarah Chen took over the explanation. The galaxy itself is alive in a sense. A vast consciousness made up of all sentient life. The Void Hunters emerge when that consciousness is threatened by stagnation or conflict. They force evolution, cooperation, or extinction. So our survival depends on unity, Zektar said slowly. Not just temporary alliance, but true integration. An urgent alarm interrupted their discussion. Lieutenant Torres, a young officer from the outer colonies, called out, Captain, massive quantum signatures detected. It's everywhere. The tactical display lit up like a constellation. Void Hunter ships were appearing simultaneously in hundreds of systems. The true test, the Earth representative said quietly. They're not attacking random worlds anymore. They're surrounding every inhabited system in the galaxy. Maya's mind raced. This was beyond anything they'd prepared for. Open channels to all Allied defense ships. Emergency Protocol 7. Within minutes, leaders from dozens of species appeared on the communication array. Some were longtime allies, others Maya had never seen before. All wore expressions of barely controlled fear. "This is Captain Maya Rodriguez of the Allied Defense Initiative," she began. "The Void Hunters have initiated what we believe is their final test. We need complete cooperation from every species, every ship, every individual. Our survival depends not on fighting, but on proving we can act as one." A Volcaran admiral, their species only recently contacted, spoke up. "How do we fight an enemy that surrounds us all?" "We don't fight," Maya said, the plan crystallizing in her mind. "We connect." "Tomas, is the quantum consciousness network ready?" Her old friend, now chief engineer of the entire station, nodded. "It's theoretical, but yes. If we link every ship's computer, every planet's network, we could create a galaxy-spanning consciousness." "That's insane," someone protested. "We'd be completely vulnerable." "We're already vulnerable," Maya countered. "But together we might be something more." The Earth representative stepped forward. "Captain Rodriguez is right. Earth's records show that civilizations that achieved true unity were not destroyed but transformed. They became part of something greater." Commander Zektar raised his forearms. "The Krellian Empire pledges full support. We will link our systems." One by one, other species agreed. The Altarians, the Volcarans, even the isolationist Sigma Collective. Within an hour, Maya was coordinating the most ambitious project in galactic history. "Initiating Quantum Consciousness Network," Chen Wei announced. "All ships, all planets, prepare for integration." Maya felt it the moment the network activated. Suddenly she wasn't just herself. She could feel Chen Wei's excitement, Zektar's determination, the fear and hope of billions of beings across the galaxy. But more than that, she could feel the galaxy itself awakening. The Void Hunters responded immediately. Their ships began to pulse in unison, sending out waves of energy that Maya now understood weren't weapons but communication. "You have taken the first step. Now choose." Images flooded the network, visions of possible futures. In one, the galaxy remained divided, and species fought for resources until none remained. In another, perfect unity was achieved, but at the cost of individual identity. But there was a third path, one where diversity and unity coexisted, where each species maintained their uniqueness while working toward common goals. Maya, speaking not just for herself, but as a focal point for the collective consciousness, responded, "We choose balance. We choose to remain ourselves while becoming something more." Show us what followed was not a battle but a symphony. Each species contributed their unique perspective to the network. Human adaptability merged with Krellian strength. Altarian logic balanced with Volcaran passion. The mining techniques Maya had perfected became metaphors for extracting value from diversity. The Void Hunter ships began to change, their dark forms brightening, transforming from nightmare vessels into something beautiful. They were revealing their true nature, not destroyers but catalysts for evolution. "You have passed. The garden is yours to tend. We will return when you are ready for the next step." As quickly as they had appeared, the Void Hunter ships vanished. But the Quantum Consciousness Network remained, forever linking the galaxy species in a web of understanding. Maya found herself back in her own mind, though she could still feel the echo of the connection. Around her, beings of different species were looking at each other with new understanding. "We did it," Tekvar said, his voice full of wonder. "No," Maya corrected. "We began it. The real work starts now." Commander Zektar placed one of his arms on Maya's shoulder, a gesture of friendship that would have been unthinkable a year ago. "The human who wanted to thank soldiers with cookies has united the galaxy. Your species mythology has a term for this, I believe. Poetic justice?" Maya laughed, remembering the simple gesture that had started everything. "Something like that. Though I think we'll need more than cookies for what comes next." The new dawn 1 year later, Maya stood in the Grand Assembly of the Galactic Alliance, a body that had replaced the old Commerce Guild. The chamber was filled with representatives from every known species, their diverse forms creating a living tapestry of galactic civilization. She wasn't Captain Rodriguez anymore. The galaxy had bestowed upon her a new title, Bridge Builder, the first human to hold such a position of galactic importance. But Maya still thought of herself as the mining captain who had stumbled upon humanity's greatest secret. Bridge builder Rodriguez, the assembly speaker, an ancient Altarian named Vilos, called the session to order. Please present your report on the integration initiative. Maya stepped forward, her presentation appearing on screens visible to all representatives. In the 12 months since the consciousness event, we've achieved more cooperation than in the previous 3 millennia. Joint colonies have been established on 17 worlds. Technology sharing has advanced all species by an average of 200 years. Most importantly, we've had 0 military conflicts between member species. A murmur of approval rippled through the assembly. The transformation had been remarkable. Former enemies now worked side by side. Species that had never communicated were sharing cultural exchanges, but not everything was perfect. However, Maya continued, we face new challenges. The quantum consciousness network has revealed disparities we previously ignored. Some species have been systematically disadvantaged for generations. Others have hoarded resources that could benefit all. True unity requires addressing these imbalances. Commander Zektar, now serving as military integration coordinator, stood. The Krellian Empire acknowledges its past exploitation of smaller species. We propose reparation through technology transfer and infrastructure development. It was a statement that would have been impossible just months ago. The proud Krellians admitting fault? Maya smiled at how far they'd all come. Tekvar, representing the new generation of leaders, activated his own presentation. I propose we establish the Unity Protocol, a system where no single species can dominate critical resources. Every decision affecting multiple worlds requires consensus from at least 3 different species. Some representatives shifted uncomfortably. Old habits of dominance and submission died hard. This is too much change too quickly, protested a Rigelian delegate. Our economies, our entire social structures are built on existing hierarchies. Maya expected this resistance. Change is never comfortable. But the Void Hunters showed us the alternative. We evolve together or face extinction separately. Sarah Chen, now serving as historical advisor, stood to address the assembly. Earth's hidden archives contain records of 17 galactic civilizations that faced the same choice. Those who chose gradual change were too slow. Those who forced rapid transformation collapsed. We need something different. What do you propose? Vilos asked. Maya had been preparing for this moment. The Apprentice Initiative. Each species selects their brightest minds, not their most powerful, but their most adaptable. They spend a year learning from a completely different species. A Krellian engineer studies Altarian philosophy. A human miner learns Volcaran art. We don't just share technology. We share perspectives. The assembly erupted in discussion. Maya could hear dozens of languages being translated simultaneously. The universal translators working overtime to convey not just words but cultural concepts. Chen Wei, monitoring communication channels, suddenly straightened. Bridge builder, I'm receiving an unusual signal. It's from the Void Hunters. The assembly fell silent. Put it through, Maya ordered. The familiar yet alien presence filled the chamber. But this time it wasn't just a message. A figure materialized in the center of the assembly, humanoid but constantly shifting, as if existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Bridge builder Maya Rodriguez. We have been observing. You have exceeded expectations. Maya stepped forward, feeling the weight of every eye upon her. Thank you. But I sense this isn't just a congratulation. Correct. You have passed the Unity test. Now comes the choice. We offer membership in the Transcendent Collective, civilizations that have evolved beyond physical limitations. You would become like us, guardians of younger species. The offer hung in the air like a challenge. Maya could feel the temptation rippling through the assembly. Power beyond imagination. Freedom from physical constraints. Immortality, possibly. All of us? Maya asked. Those who are ready. Perhaps 10% of your population initially. The rest would follow, eventually. Maya understood the trap immediately. You're asking us to create a new hierarchy. The transcended and the physical. That's not unity. It's division. The Void Hunter's form shifted and Maya thought she detected approval. You see clearly. Others have not. What is your answer? Maya looked around the assembly, seeing fear, ambition, hope, and uncertainty in alien faces she'd learned to read. She thought about the journey from baking cookies for soldiers to standing here speaking for the galaxy. We decline, she said firmly, not because we fear transcendence, but because we choose to transcend together. All of us or none of us? The assembly erupted again, but Maya continued. We'll find our own path to evolution. It may take longer, but it will be our choice, our way. Unity doesn't mean leaving anyone behind. The Void Hunter was silent for a long moment. Then impossibly it smiled, or did something that felt like smiling. This is why humanity was chosen as the catalyst. Your species' greatest strength was never your technology or your adaptability. It was your stubborn insistence that everyone matters. Very well. We will withdraw our offer and our presence. The galaxy is yours to shape. But know this, other tests will come. Not from us, but from the universe itself. Be ready. The figure began to fade, but left one final message. The child who baked cookies to thank soldiers has shown the galaxy that strength comes from caring for others. Remember this lesson. It will save you when nothing else can. Then the Void Hunters were truly gone, their presence vanishing from sensors across the galaxy. The assembly sat in stunned silence until Zektar began a slow, rhythmic clicking of his mandibles. Krellian applause. Others joined in their own ways, creating a symphony of approval that filled the chamber. So what now? Tekvar asked. Maya smiled. Now we do the hard work. We build a galaxy where every species can thrive. We share knowledge, resources, and dreams. We prepare for whatever tests come next. She paused, thinking of how far they'd come. And maybe we remember that sometimes the smallest gestures, like sharing cookies, can change the universe. Epilogue. 5 years later, Captain Maya Rodriguez, she'd insisted on keeping her original title alongside Bridge Builder, stood in her small garden on Unity Station. She was baking cookies again, this time for the graduating class of the First Interspecies Academy. The students were a mix of young beings from every corner of the galaxy. They'd spent 4 years learning not just from textbooks but from each other. A young Krellian who painted in the human style. An Altarian who'd mastered Volcran emotional poetry. A human who could navigate quantum space using Rigelian meditation techniques. Tomas, now white-haired but still energetic, helped her pack the cookies. You know, these kids won't understand the significance of this gesture. That's the point, Maya replied. To them, sharing food across species barriers is normal. They can't imagine a galaxy where humans were just laborers and Krellians were overlords. Chen Wei's son, one of the graduates, approached. Aunt Maya, the ceremony's about to begin. Maya nodded, picking up the containers of cookies. As she walked toward the ceremony hall, she passed the memorial wall. Names of all who'd died in the transformation. Not just humans, but every species who'd sacrificed for unity. The ceremony itself was beautiful. Each graduate presented a project that combined knowledge from at least 3 different species. The solutions they'd developed for ancient problems were elegant, innovative, and impossible without cooperation. As Maya handed out cookies after the ceremony, a small Altarian child approached her. Bridge Builder, why do you always share food? Maya knelt to the child's level. Because sharing food means sharing life. It's saying, I want you to be strong and happy. It's a small thing. But small things built the galaxy we have now. The child nodded solemnly and took a cookie, then immediately broke it in half to share with a Krellian friend. Watching them, Maya realized the true victory wasn't defeating the Void Hunters or uniting the galaxy. It was this. Children who couldn't imagine treating each other as anything but equals. The galaxy had been saved not by weapons or technology, but by the simple human truth that everyone deserved kindness. Even those who seemed like enemies. The woman who'd wanted to thank soldiers with cookies had ended up teaching the galaxy that gratitude and compassion were the strongest forces in the universe. As the celebration continued around her, Maya looked up at the stars through the station's transparent dome. Somewhere out there, new challenges waited. But whatever came next, the galaxy would face it together. The last echo of Earth had become a symphony of unity, and the music was just beginning.